Welcome to Salad with a Side of Fries. I'm your host, Jen Trepic, talking wellness and weight loss for real life. We're here to clear up the myths, misinformation, bad science, and marketing to teach you how to eat and how to cheat. Are you ready? I'm having salad with a side of fries. This week, we're talking about NAD. Now, fitting for our full episode this week, where we're focusing on defying age, our nutrition nugget is about a nutrient or a supplement ingredient that's been referred to as the closest thing we found to the fountain of youth. For real, it's called NAD. So let's go through what it is, what it does, how we can find it, and get more of it into our bodies, right? So the first thing is NAD stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, or adenine. I don't know which one, but nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. For short, we say NAD. Now, I think what's maybe most interesting about this is that it's not actually a new discovery. What is new, though, is the ability to stabilize it so that it can be used as a supplement, and studies in humans replicating what was seen in mice. So NAD was discovered like 80 to 100 years ago. Scientists were doing experiments on fermentation in which yeast cells metabolize sugar and convert it into alcohol. Then scientists separated the components of the yeast cells and discovered the chemical shape of the NAD molecule. Then in 1958, Jack Priest and Philip Handler showed how nicotinic acid is converted to NAD and identified responsible enzymes. So the pathway that converts nicotinic acid to NAD is now named the Priest-Handler pathway. So what does it do? NAD is essentially a coenzyme used in regulating metabolism, aging, or as we often say, longevity, DNA repair, and the immune system. Low NAD levels are associated with signs of aging, metabolic diseases, neurodegeneration, and even cancer. So essentially, NAD is found in every cell in the body, and it breaks off debris from cells. It repairs and rejuvenates DNA. It gets inside the cell and tells the DNA to function properly, right? What do we know about cells that don't function properly? Creates disease. So NAD is essential for creating cellular energy and maintaining cellular health. Levels of NAD correlate with health status in aging. So not just lifespan, but health span. Now, naturally occurring NAD, natural NAD in the body declines with age. And we sort of accelerate that decline because of stressors. So NAD also declines when exposed to stressors. What are stressors? Sedentary lifestyle, eating high amounts of fat, eating high amounts of sugar, excessive alcohol consumption, inadequate sleep, carrying extra weight, sunlight exposure, interesting for this time of year, DNA damage, and even assaults on the immune system. So essentially, the decline in NAD manifests as people with age-related diseases. Now, in studies, they looked at people supplementing with precursors to NAD. So essentially, they're giving the body what it needs to synthesize NAD. Now, the precursors are various sources of vitamin B3, including nicotinamide riboside, nicotinic acid, nicotinamide mononucleotide, and tryptophan. So all of these precursors influence or help the body build on, right, or build the production of NAD. Now, I mentioned mouse studies before. So they mainly looked at NMN, the nicotinamide mononucleotide. and NR, nicotinamide riboside, and saw that this may result in health benefits and delayed signs of aging, right? As I said before, extending health span as it supports longevity. And there's a specific gene for longevity. It's called the SIRT1 gene. So it supports the SIRT1 gene. Now, in figuring this out, there's been quite a bit of research on nicotinamide riboside. And it shows that nicotinamide riboside in particular can raise NAD levels, and specifically NAD+. So nicotinamide riboside is being studied in clinical trials that include research on heart disease, Alzheimer's disease, kidney injuries, aging, and chemotherapy. Human trials so far have shown that NAD+ supplementation may improve exercise performance in older adults, increase insulin sensitivity, and provide anti-inflammatory effects. People with higher levels of NAD+, which is really, by the way, like the bioactive form of NAD. So people with higher levels of NAD+, and the research on supplementing with its precursors shows some improvement in cognitive function, improved energy levels, improved mental health. There's actually some research that uses NAD for anxiety and depression, which I think is really interesting. It may also help improve positive thinking skills by enhancing neurotransmitter function. NAD+ may protect against cognitive decline as it helps increase the production of what are called sirtuin proteins. Now, those sirtuin proteins help protect neurons from damage caused by oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is inflammation, right? We're seeing also that it could support addiction and recovery treatments, improve sleep quality, reduce inflammation, like we mentioned before, improve skin health, protect against UV rays, support cardiovascular health, not just because of the mitochondrial energy, by the way, but also support cardiovascular health in terms of blood flow and reduced inflammation as well. And then supports weight management efforts by potentially improving metabolism, supporting regulation of hormones that influence hunger. Sound familiar, right? And we saw also that blood sugar balance support. It also seems to reset the cellular clock and how we respond to sleep-wake cycles. Sounding familiar, things we've talked about before. So NAD can help the body reset our sleep-wake cycles. Now, we've talked about autophagy before. And before, we've also mentioned like telomere length. NAD is critical for both of those. So when we look to supplement, right, when we look at NAD+ supplements, we want to remember, first of all, pause for a second. Remember that we cannot supplement our way out of poor nutrition or poor lifestyle. So exercise, activity, quality sleep, low glycemic impact nutrition, detoxification, right? All of our longevity pathways are important. And then we can add NAD+ for extra support. Now, NMN, that other form, is not allowed to be used in supplements in the United States. So you want one that's using the NR ingredient, nicotinamide riboside. You may see ones using NAD+ and others with NADH. So NAD+ is the oxidized form of nicotinamide adenine dinucleotides. NADH are the reduced form. So how much we have of each in the body is this, it's called the NAD+ NADH redox ratio. Don't need to know that, but essentially what we want is NAD+ to support a health promoting ratio. So be sure we're looking at NAD+. Be sure we're looking at one that's made with NR, nicotinamide riboside. I happen to like one. I've tried it myself. I've been working with it. It has 250 milligrams of nicotinamide riboside, and it pairs it with 50 milligrams of pterostilbene. Okay, so pterostilbene is spelled with a PT, like pterodactyl. So one of my colleagues and I, when we were learning about this, we just kept calling it pterodactyl, but it's not. It is pterostilbene. So pterostilbene is an antioxidant that often is naturally co-occurring with nicotinamide riboside. Now, we've talked about resveratrol before. Pterostilbene is actually really similar to resveratrol in terms of the molecular structure of the antioxidant, but pterostilbene has a longer half-life in the body, which means it lasts longer, it works for longer, it can do a bit more. So both nicotinamide riboside, NR, and pterostilbene have been scientifically shown to support NAD levels within our cells. A study analyzing the effects of taking both the precursor NR and pterostilbene for an 8-week period. Participants were either given a placebo, a single serving, or a double serving of the recommended amount. Testing participants' blood after 4 weeks found that the group with the recommended serving showed a 40% increase in NAD levels. The group who administered a double serving showed a 90% increase of NAD levels in the blood. The placebo group showed no change. So in addition, by the way, the levels reported at 4 weeks remained consistent for both groups at 60 days. So continued use is also helpful, right? So I'll put a link to that one in the episode notes for this. So that one has the 250 milligrams of nicotinamide riboside and the 50 milligrams of pterostilbene. Now, I will say anecdotally, I've heard stories of people feeling more impact from twice a day. There doesn't seem to be, again, anecdotally, even clinically, there doesn't seem to be benefit of taking any more than that. And for everyone, what they notice is a bit different. For some, they feel like they have their memory back. For others, it's energy and vigor. And still, another person in their early 70s said to me that she felt like she had her 30-something-year-old bladder back. So this one is where I say try and see how you feel. You'll probably notice a difference in your skin first, and then you'll notice probably some of the other benefits. Of course, remembering not just speak to your healthcare provider and your pharmacist, also, but we want to continue with our lifestyle choices for longevity. Quality nutrition, quality sleep, more activity in our daily lives, managing our stress, right? And it's all fitting for this week's episode, right? Defying age. NAD Plus seems to deliver on its promise of being the closest thing we found to the fountain of youth. So I can't wait to hear what your experience is with it. Well, as always, everybody, I'm your host, Jen Trepeck. Connect with me on Instagram or all social media. I'm at Jen Trepeck, JENNTREPECK. Website is asaladwithasideoffries.com. Pick your platform, send a message. I want to hear from you, your takeaways, your ideas, your questions. Also, pick your platform and ask about working with me as your health coach. Both group and one-on-one coaching are available. So thank you again for being here. And friends, if you are not already, join our membership program by going to glow.fm/saladwithasideoffries. This shows your support for this podcast, this community, and most importantly, supports your health. You'll get this week's recipe for the Mediterranean chickpea salad with lemon vinaigrette. Well, friends, that's it for today's episode of Salad with a Side of Fries. Congratulations for making yourself and your health a priority. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to click subscribe or follow on your favorite podcast platform. Share us with a friend, and we'll be back next week. Always remember, you deserve it, and you are worth it. Happy healthy.